Hi, Dan here. Hope you're doing well. Those were double stops. Double stops sound amazing on bass. All it is where you play two notes together at the same time. And it's slightly different from a chord. I mean, it's a bit semantics here, but a chord is just where you play three or more notes at the same time, and a double stop is two. Chuck Rainey, the great soul R&B player, he used them a lot. There's a really good example on the intro of Peg by Steely Dan, where he just starts on a G and goes down chromatic. Instead of hitting an E like that, he does that. Technically, maybe that's a chord if he's playing the low E, but he used double stops all the time. Another really good example is the middle eight to Rock With You by Michael Jackson, where it goes. Bobby Watson's bass line there. That gets me every time. It's amazing. I'm going to show you the main shapes that you need to know to play double stops. Let's start there. I'll show you the chord, and then all you do is you basically play the top two notes and you're playing a double stop. So in Rock With You, we've got an E flat on the 11th fret of the E string. Play that with your first finger. Notice my first finger's angled that way a little bit, because then my second finger can line up on the same fret but on the D string. So 11th fret D string, you're playing right on the fingertip because you don't want any part of your finger to be accidentally hitting another string. Then little finger or third, whichever you find comfortable, on the 12th fret of the G string. They're particularly good with open strings. So if you just move that up one fret, there's now E. That's a dominant 7. It's an E7 chord. If you can play an open string and a double stop, that's quite cool. Let's just practice that. Just playing an open E, and then slide up to the 12th fret with your second finger, and then play the next fret of the G string. That was an A7. I'll show you that now, actually. I'm going to show you a few different qualities of chords, and that probably do you for double stops. So the first one we did, let's stick on that E7. Its root note is on the E string. And the shape I showed you is the one you need to know. Now, if I go to the 12th fret of the A string, which is A, the shape for the dominant chord now is, so you've got second finger on the 12th fret of the A string, first finger on the 11th fret of the D string, and third finger on the 12th fret of the G string. So you've got a root, a major third, and a minor 7th. That's a dominant 7th chord. Whether you're playing chords or double stops, that's a good shape to know. Whilst I'm thinking about it, that's a common move you hear. Play the double stop, slide down and then back in again. If you do that, just maintain pressure into the fretboard at all times, otherwise your note will just stop. And then pluck again when you reach. The one shape I showed you, you can convert that into different chord qualities. Here's what I mean. So you've got your E7. So at the very top there, that little finger, in my case I'm using the little finger, 13th fret of the G string, that's a major third. Make that go down a fret. And that's a minor 7th. It's really amazing how different chords are sometimes just different by just one or two notes. Okay, that's it. You don't have to learn lots of different shapes and think that they're all difficult. Not so. There's your dominant 7th, so move that down one fret. I'll probably do a PDF of this, so I'll put a link below so you can go and get that. So all in one line. This is still on the E string as the root. You've got your minor seventh. Put those two notes here. So be aware, by the way, also of your intervals. So I know that that's the minor seventh and that's the minor third. If you make those two notes go upper fret to major seventh. So you've got dominant seventh, minor seventh, major seventh, okay? You want to know this on the E string and the A string. So let's jump to the A string. So you've got your dominant seventh. I'll remind you, fret 12, 11, and 12. I've got fingers 2, 1, and 3. So this time, the major, the seventh is the one that's on the G string. Make that go up one fret. You have a major seventh. And keep the root the same, move the others down one fret. Exactly the same as we were doing on the E string, but slightly different sort of voicings of it. That's a minor seventh. So minor seventh, major seventh, dominant seventh. Know that on the A and the E. And I'm playing them as chords here, but since this is a double stop lesson, let's try and make up some chord progressions. Now the first one I was doing in the intro. That could be a way that you could use it. So I'm in the key of G minor. Actually, G Dorian. It's a really funky sound. So it's basically a 2 to a 2-5 progression here. That's what I'm doing. And the 2 is a minor chord, so G minor. And the 5, dominant chord. So I'm going G minor 7 to C7, okay? It also really helps, this is a slight diversion, but it also really helps to know the mode that goes underneath that. It's a little bit too much for this lesson, but basically, it's G Dorian to C Mixolydian. That really helps in constructing bass lines. Just using chord tones and scale tones from that G Dorian sort of sound. Then I'm going to the C. So there's a little bit of bassline construction, but since this is a double stop lesson, there's always so much to talk about. I go on sort of slight tangents, but this is what I was doing. I was going. So I'm going root, flat 7, octave, really good notes. There was my double stop. So it's rooted on the A string. You've got your G on the 10th fret of the A string. I'm using second finger. 2 frets this way, you've got your flat 3. 2 frets back up with your third finger. You've got the minor 7th, that's a G minor 7th. And I'm just playing those top 2 notes. So as I'm going here, I can see where the G is. I can see this shape. It's a very visual thing, the bass. I'm using that. And I'm just simply sliding to that, the 3rd and the 7th, the flat 3 and the flat 7. Let's just do roots. So I'm going to the C. So when the root's on the E string of the C7, that's where my double stop notes are. But I also need to know it, and you also need to know it, when it's rooted on the C. So I'm not going to do it down here, a bit muddy. So just on the 15th fret, we've got that shape. So fingers 2, 1, 3 on 15, 14, and 15, A, D, and G strings. And again, just targeting those top 2 notes. A little bit harder now because it's a bit of a jump. There's that little slide out and back in again. It's a flea bass line where he's going octaves. There's a double stop there. So in this situation here, you got the G root and you got these 2 notes up here. It doesn't have to be, by the way, a 3rd or a 7th. It could be any voicing that you like when you're doing a double stop. It doesn't have to be funk music. It could be a ballad. You could really do anything you like here, but the basic idea is to know the chord shape first on the E string, know it on the A string. You've got a dominant chord, a major seventh and a minor seventh. It doesn't have to be major sevenths or minor sevenths either. You know, just a very simple, well, actually a perfect example is Don't Give Up by Tony 11. I've just done a lesson on that. This one, I don't know when I'm releasing this, but it's probably after Don't Give Up, so that will already be out there. Make sure you check that out. And it's just... I don't know if you know that bass line. It's absolutely amazing. You should know it. We're in C minor. Okay, and these bits up here, they're just thirds. A third is just where you play a note and go up three. Play them together, you got a double stop. That's a bass line in the style of Don't Give Up. You just go to a root note and play around with some of the notes belonging to the key, and in that case it's all thirds, minor or major. So you see, you can do so many things with double stops, and as ever the best thing to do is to listen. You know, again, like if you listen to Chuck Rainey, just, you know, Google some of his best bass lines, listen to them, you'll hear double stops a lot. And since his music is a lot what he was playing back in the day, a lot of soul stuff, you hear a lot of dominant stuff going on, you know. Over a 2/5, as I demonstrated for a lot of this lesson, you've got a minor to a major, and I was using the seventh and the third there, and it just sounds a bit jazzy, a bit funky. That sounds cool. Tony Levin was just using really simple thirds. He uses a fourth as well. So that'll do for now, but I do at least 2 videos every week, so do subscribe, like, and share, all that kind of stuff. That really helps my channel. I'm trying to grow it. And if you have any questions whatsoever on this video, any suggestions for lessons, anything you're struggling with, I'll do a short video on it. So just get in contact at onlinebasscourses.com. Just leave a comment below and I'll get back to everything. So thanks very much, and I'll see you next time.